Another trade, same. Another trade, same risk, more risk, no stop loss. You have to have rules. You have to have a process to manage yourself, because unless you manage you, it's over. You will be confident that you're in good hands. That's all. That's the major hurdle for me as a mentor. And that's the major hurdle for you when you're starting to learn how to do this, because you're going to doubt everything. Think about it. When you go to buy a house and you work with a builder, you don't know if these people are going to do a good job. Sure, they might have references. Oh, yeah, this person built this house. It's great. Okay. But they haven't built your house yet. So reviews and opinions by other people are going to influence you early on. And that's why I do what I do. I show you proof. This is precision. This is where it's going to go. This is why it's going to happen. So that way it will be able to be leaned on when the times come when you think that the lessons are not working for you. Like you're not getting the results as quick as and as efficiently as you were hoping. Like you want to learn how to do this in 3 weeks. I'm telling you, you're not going to. It's going to take you the full year. And some of you, it's going to require you to do the things I'm going to teach you and go into a little bit more of next year before you really get it. Some of you, it's been with me for a long time, that have been on the fence with wrestling with some of these things I've talked about thus far. And they've been a hindrance to you. You just don't know what it has been for you specifically. It's causing you not to get through that threshold that's needed for you to find consistency with it. You'll find probably the first month or two, it'll happen for you. And I've already seen it with my private students. When I was doing private mentorship, which I don't do, I'm doing mentorship openly now, so stop asking. The students that were held up in their learning, just what I've been showing on Twitter, calling it live, tweeting out, this is what it is. This is go to that minute candle, watch it here, and it's going to go here. That alone, as simple as that was, it pushed some of them. Now they're funded. Now they're making money. And they've been with me since 2016, unprofitable. And now all of a sudden, just because of some tweets that I put out, real time, they see it now. Something happened. The veil was lifted, and they're able to understand what it is that they've been looking to do, but never really understood exactly what it is. And I'm not ringing in all the tools that's possible to be utilized that you hear me teach and talk about in certain videos. Like if you look at the trading plan series, that's a lot of videos. It's a lot of stuff in here. It's meant to take you through the process. Those videos, in the order that I put them out, that's literally how I came to be Inner Circle Trader. It's been a whole social media experience for me to try to create another me, doing the very things and presenting the very things that I came into understanding in the order that I came into my understanding with it. And I haven't seen one person do it yet, which, to me is interesting. I wanted to see if I could create that laboratory experiment where these are the ingredients and then boom, powder puff ICT, version 2 pops out. So I don't view it as a failure. It's been very interesting to watch what has transpired over the time me teaching this stuff. But you can't take the whole series, like the Trading Views development series, and think, okay, I know everything now. No, they were just ideas to start implementing and give you some kind of framework to study. And then another lesson comes, another idea, another specific element about price action and how you as a trader can engage. Where does that thing usually manifest in price action? What time of day, what day of week, what year? Yeah, there's yearly cycles. What seasonal tendency of a year is better than others for what certain type of price delivery? That's seasonal tendencies. They exist. They exist in stock market. They exist in commodities. I'm sure if crypto lasts long enough, you'll see seasonal tendencies manifest there as well. I don't have any horse in the race in that. So I keep my hands out of that cookie jar. But your model, you need to determine what that is. And I'm giving you the framework to try to do that this year. So you need to create that model independently and uniquely on your own wants and desires as a trader. Don't do what you see me doing. Because I've had students come to me and say, look, I can see what you taught last year on Twitter. I'm sorry, not on Twitter, but on YouTube. The 2020 model, the fair value gap, the shift in market structure. I can see it after the fact, but I just can't do it live. I can't see it happening. And they're frustrated. So they think there's no other way besides that one. That's not true. That's not true at all. There's other ways to trade. I'll show you them, but I'm going to try to work with the 2022 model predominantly, and the slight variations in that model that you will see that you probably didn't notice from the lessons I gave you last year. But I've been trading a lot with that model intraday. Even after the moves start, I'm still using that model. You just can't recognize it yet because you're not familiar with it. That's all. That's all it is. It's a new language you haven't learned yet, and it takes time. And it's boring in the beginning. That's why I'm doing all these types of discussions, because the students that are really here to learn, you're here listening and you're taking notes. The people that are going to be casual, they're not going to be profitable. They're not going to learn no matter how much I do live in front of them. As soon as I stop doing the commentaries, they'll never find a winning trade. That's who they're going to be. That's not who I'm talking to. I have a certain group of students that are hardcore. They really want to know what's going on and how to overcome themselves and learn how to read these markets like a book they've read 20, 30 times. You know the plot. You know the characters. You probably can say verbatim what the next line is going to be in the next paragraph because you've been here before. That's what experience does. And in the hands of a lay audience, when I show, like what I've been doing with Twitter, it seems magical. But you're going to do the same thing. And don't be prideful about it. Don't build yourself up like you're something special. Because all I am is blessed. And I'm trying to share this life skill with you. And I want you to be responsible with it. So you have to define your trading model. So let's talk about defining that. What is the market you're going to trade? To keep it easy, to stop all the arguments, and also to keep my focus, which is it's important, and it's imperative that you keep your focus when you're first learning. I'm choosing to trade only
order filled,
the Standard & Poor's 500, S&P. But I don't want to trade that. I don't care what you want to trade. I'm here teaching price action. Take these lessons and apply it to whatever market you want to trade after we get through this year, because it all is the same. But I want to trade the Dow. You don't trade the Dow. I just said I'm only teaching price action through one medium, the S&P. If that doesn't fit your expectations, go somewhere else. I was fine before you came here. I'll be fine after, and I promise you, you'll be fine without me. You'll probably do something else and do very, very well. And I wish you the best of luck with it. But I'm not going to have it your way mentorship, okay? It's not going to be like that. I know how to do this. I know how to teach it, but I also know that to keep the questions to a minimum, to keep the distractions to me at a minimum, I'm only using one canvas. And I'm going to show you what little paintbrush selection you need to paint a Picasso. Now, I can't paint worth a shit, to be honest with you. I don't know how to do. I can draw very well, but I can't promise that every single time I sit in front of the charts with you, that it's going to be a Picasso every single time, because I'm going to fall victim to manipulation, manual intervention, and I'll tell you when it's likely to occur, so that way you can see that sometimes you can forecast when it's going to happen, or I will fall victim to it, and then you'll see me exactly as I teach you. Okay, we have now shifted to a period of time where it's not favorable for me to do this, and I'd be wasting my time doing what we're doing right now. And I'll close up shop and say, we'll resume on this session on this day. And you need to be prepared and be comfortable with that, because you're going to do that same thing in your own trading. Just because you sit down in front of the charts, the market doesn't owe you shit. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you your setup. It doesn't owe you your pattern. It doesn't owe you your R multiple you're trying to get. And it doesn't owe you your fucking FTMO leaderboard position you're trying to aim for, or that your account is going to move over to some new stage, like you passed the funded account. Like it doesn't owe you that. That's yours. Nobody owes you anything. You have to work your ass off for it. You have to earn it. And it's not going to be easy. And when you think you accepted the fact that it's going to be harder than you probably thought it was, then when you're met with the reality that it's really harder than you thought it was going to be, that separates you from traders that are going to be here and endure it. Because if you give yourself enough time, you'll find consistency. And consistency and profitably consistent isn't mean every day profitable. But your model has to define what sound logic you're going to adopt. So you have to start with one market. And I'm forcing all of you. Don't ask me about Eurodollar. I'll talk about it in daily commentaries on a daily chart. I'll tell you where I think it's going to go. That's the draw on liquidity. I think that's where it's going to likely go. You have to use everything I've already taught to submit to, does it reach there? I'm probably going to be right. I'm probably going to be wrong. I don't care. My focus is predominantly in ES. And you only need one market. You only need one market. Because if you know what you're doing and you're trading well with sound logic and read price action correctly, your attention is dialed in. Laser precision. You're not distracted by anything else. I don't care what Bitcoin's doing. I don't care what crude oil is doing. I don't care what the British pound's done. I don't care. I sure as fuck don't care what yen's doing. So all those things are a distraction to me. I don't care about those things. I don't care what that other guy on the YouTube's doing. I don't care. This new book just came out. They're all things that's going to distract me. I have an agenda that I have to follow this year, and I have to be disciplined. And it may sound like I'm all over the place, but I'm literally reading bullet points. So I'm on focus. I'm not down rabbit holes. I know exactly where I'm going, and I know where we're going as we get through this discussion. But if you're already feeling uncomfortable, I guarantee you, you're not going to do well here. If you're impatient, get to it. Get to it, Michael. Like Tom Hogard, I reached out to him the other day. A lot of you have said, "Hey, have you seen Tom?" I messaged him in private. I said, a lot of my students have mentioned you. And unfortunately, with all due respect, I've never heard of you before. But I've watched a couple of his videos over the last week or so, and I just ordered his book. So I'll be taking that and digesting it when I get it. But I believe he was referring to me in the 26th presentation. He does like a commentary over the charts, much in the same way I do with Twitter, but he's doing it like, I think, audibly, sharing it live. And he mentioned that, I do tend to be long-winded. And he's like, okay, get with it, get to where you're going. Unfortunately, that is, and then you're going to go back and listen to a video and listen to a lecture and say, damn it, he said that shit and I didn't pay attention to it, and now I'm dealing with it. If I just would have listened to it and had it in my notes and referred to it, have it in the forefront of my mind going in, these are hurdles. This is someone that's been doing it for 30 years. I lost a lot of fucking money, folks. I lost a lot of money doing stupid shit. Do you want to go through it too to learn the lesson? I mean, think about it. Do you want to learn that way? Because that's what everybody else does. All I'm trying to be is a conduit so that way you don't do those things. I'm not promising you're going to get rich. I'm promising you're going to work your ass off. But you do the things I'm telling you to do, you could be seeing what these young men and women are doing all around the world right now with real money. And that's undeniable. And I'm not hand-holding them. So you have to have your focus, and you have to tolerate being taught correctly. And when you go to college and you listen to these people, and they may be up there teaching, and may never have ever done anything in the field that they're lecturing and teaching on. How many fights do these boxers and their trainers, how many trainers have those fight managers, those trainers, how many world titles did they hold? There's an argument that's being constantly perpetuated that if you teach, you can't do. I'm proving I can do. I'm asking you to be responsible as a student and filter out all the bullshit. Because you're going to see if I know what I'm talking about right away, if you haven't already noticed. But your limitation and distractions, I'm managing that. I'm also managing my own as a human being. I'm not AI. I'm a real person. I'm easily distracted. I'm easily pissed off. I can fly off. Well, you're now hearing it, right? That's the mood shifts that I have to wrestle with all the time. And in the marketplace, you'll have that. You won't see that manifest in me doing live sessions. You'll never see me go off the rails over the charts. That is absolutely when I'm 100% disciplined. That took 30 years to get that. You're never going to hear me, oh, this son of a bitch. That's never going to happen. I don't look at a result that's adverse in the marketplace, whether I'm in a trade live or when I'm in front of you, calling it and it does something else. You're never going to hear me go, oh, for fuck's sake. That doesn't happen. Because I know me, I know my model, and I know that what I'm doing will repeat. So there's no fucking reason for me or you to get into an emotional response to what the market's doing. There's absolutely no reason for that. None. Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you do it, you have now recorded in the annals of history in terms of you as a trader internally, that's a bad experience. And you're going to do everything in your power to avoid that again. That means what? Pushing the button. You're going to, man, I don't want to take another loss today. I'm down 5% because I didn't listen to sound logic and say 2 losers and stop. So I'm managing at my best. These are the things I've thought about this over the holiday break. How am I going to manage all of you? How am I going to manage all your personality flaws and characters that are impulsive? With a clean conscience, I'm doing everything I can, but you still have the responsibility of not pushing a button while you're learning how to do this. The worst thing that can happen is if I get up there and I call something that I believe firmly that the market's likely to do, and it doesn't deliver, and you push the button you got a live trade on, you're going to determine that as that's the reason why it doesn't work. And I shouldn't learn from Michael. I shouldn't even worry about this stuff. I need to go out there and start trading and supply and demand. Elliott wave or whatever else that catches your eye. And that would be unfortunate because one trade, one transaction, 1 week, 1 month is not a narrative for success or failure. But as a new student, a new trader in development, it's easy to establish an opinion based on not enough evidence. Because you're going into this with a great deal of skepticism, and it's healthy. That's normal, and I'm encouraging you to be that way. I want you to be that way. I don't want you to believe me because I fucking make a video and record myself doing it. I want you to sit with me and watch me talk about every 1 minute candle, because every single one of those candles, even as small as that is, that 1 minute candle has a storyline. It's telling you something. You need to be understanding real time when I'm not going to be doing this. By experience, you've seen it. You've walked it before. You've been down this road before. You know where that Rottweiler is. You know in the hole in the fence, if you get too fucking close to it, it's going to rip your ass apart. So that way you had experience, right? So that way you walk down there, you know, I'm going to cross the other side of the road. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're scared. This means that's stupid. I'm not walking over here and tearing up this fucking nice shirt I'm wearing. I'm not tearing up my clothes. I'm not getting all tore up. That's experience. But some of you just want to walk down the road and get your ass tore up and say, "Yeah, I did it too, ICT." You know, look at like the scene from Jaws. Everybody's showing their scars. Or this is the wound I got. Well, look at this one. I got one better than that. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Fuck the Joneses. Carl Jones is the person you're trying to avoid. You don't want to be friends with him. If there's a Carl Jones listening, it's just fictional. It's just for comedic relief here. Carl, Carl's always trying to get the employee of the week. That's the person that's always trying to one up somebody. Okay, that's the person you don't want to be in trading. The guy that does something better, the guy that knows something more, has more experience, has this. You don't want to do that. Okay, nobody gives a shit about that, and that shouldn't be your motivation by learning. So I'm managing all these types of things that I've had endured over the years as a mentor, and I'm forcing all of you to look at one market. And I know that it's going to alienate some of you. And I'm asking you to be considerate to the idea that I am doing my best to teach you price. The things that I'm going to show you in this one market, they occur in Forex. So if you're only going to be a Forex trader and you can't trade futures, that's fine. This stuff works there too. If Bob Ross was painting on somebody else's canvas with somebody else's brushes, he'd still be able to paint the way he can paint. I'm teaching you how to paint in these charts. That way you can see these things pan out and work with them. It matters not what the instrument is. Some of you may like, well, I'm going to be trading crypto and I'm going to be using it. Okay, I'm not co-signing that. But if that's where you're going with it, that's on you. I don't have any experience in it. That's why I don't talk about crypto. That's why I don't trade it. I'm never, ever going to get out there on a live stream and say, this is what, no, I'm not doing that. That's not my forte. My forte is futures. That's where I started in 1992. And then I segued into Forex. Forex right now, look at this week. For some of you that are arguing and you're angry at me right now, you're cussing me right now. This son of a bitch, ICT. You said I said I was going to do analysis every day, Monday through Friday on Forex. Yes, I did say that. I did not say I was going to sit down in front of you and call the shots on Forex every single day. I didn't say that. I said I was going to do that with the stock index market. Yes, that's what I'm selling in on. You'll see Nasdaq come in where it's useful. But I'm going to only talk about the setups in E-mini S&P. Why? Why are you holding back from us, ICT? I'm not. I'm giving you every advantage of doing everything the right fucking way. And you just got to trust me on it. Trust me. That's all I'm asking you to do. You didn't send me a PayPal payment. You didn't swipe any fucking credit cards with me. I'm sitting here on my weekend pouring myself into you. I'm never going to meet you. You're not going to shake my hand. We're not going to have dinner. You're not going to be introduced to my wife. My kids are not going to spend time with you. I'm showing you the greatest consideration that anybody else would do for free. Don't come to me and say, fuck you, ICT. You're not doing it the way I want. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. You want to learn how to make a lot of fucking money? Show up every day. You want to learn how to control yourself in the markets? Show up every day. You want to learn how to manage drawdown and come out of it? Show up every day. How to avoid when the trades are not likely to pan out? Show up every day. But I'm only going to be able to teach that effectively with one market. Look at Forex. I've told you what I believe was going to happen. I told you exactly what I expected to see happen in dollar index and euro and cable. I've only been partially correct. Now contrast that with the laser guided fucking precision that you've been seeing me do with ES daily since the beginning of the year. And you're going to ask me, why am I not talking about Forex? Is there not a better picture been explained than that? If I know if my personal precision is going to be off, if I know that I'm going to have adversity in trading an instrument, why the hell would I go in there and try to trade with money? Why would I do that? And why the hell would I want to do it publicly in front of you, right? That's stupid. That's asinine. But I understand that your infancy coming to me, you haven't been doing it long enough. You think that I should be pulling signals out of my ass with euro dollar and pound dollar every 5 fucking seconds. And that's not how it works. That's not how this works, folks. There has to be a reason to do it. There has to be a reason to be expecting high probability conditions. And if you don't have a way of defining what that is, or knowing what it is, having experience engaging in price with that, then it comes to no surprise that you have people saying, well, I'm disappointed because you're not doing Forex. I'm thankful I'm not trading Forex right now. I would be frustrated right now because the market is shit in Forex right now. Compare it with what I've been showing you in even the S&P. That's beautiful price action, folks. That's exactly what the fuck you're looking for, but you don't recognize it yet. You don't even know what you're looking at. That's exactly what you're looking for as a trader. A trader sees this market and it says, it's going to go up to this level, and it's going to come down to this level. It should respect this level, and it should go here next. Not all over the fucking place, chopping this wild price swings. That means nothing. But you're going to see these jokers on social media showing their 25 executions on MT4 in the same instrument with $27,000 supposed profit next to it. Those people aren't on the FDMO board. So why the fuck are they messing around there? If you can do that, do it on those funded accounts and do there. But that's the shit you fall victim to. You like that stuff. You want to see that shit because you think that because it makes you feel cool. Like, man, if I could do that, man, I would be respected by people online that don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. So you're trying to chase things that are not going to deliver what you really want. I don't give a fuck who likes me. Who believes me? I don't care. I'm doing what I want to do because I like doing it. I'm living my life. I'm in my own fucking lane. As a trader, that's what I'm trying to do. And when you do this and you're trying to make money, that's all you're doing it for. That's it. If you're doing this for any other reason but to make money, you're fucking off. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it absolutely incorrect. Because if you're doing it for other things like pride, ego, status, clout, guess what that's going to do? It's going to invite you into trying to perform better than somebody else that has the hot hand right now. And right now I have the hot hand. And then you see all these other people that are coming at me because they're insignificant. They're not happy in their home. Because if they were happy in their home, they would still just be doing what the fuck they're doing. And people would recognize that and appreciate that. Hey, you know what? You're not getting caught up in all that drama bullshit. You're still just delivering. You know what? That's why I tapped that guy, Patrick Weiland. Once in a while, he talks his shit. He's a character, and that's cool. I can appreciate that. I'm the same way. It kind of breaks up the monotony. But when it comes time to push the button, the man's pushing it, and he's showing that he makes money. Not every day. I've seen him, give up some losses here and there. We'll give up some wins, but he's pushing it every day in front of people that sometimes are talking shit. I can't do that because it's a distraction. I want to smack them in the face with a sledgehammer when I see shit like that. I want to show them they do nothing. But if I do that, it's taking my attention from where? The charts. So that's why when you see me doing live sessions, I'm not going to have the chat window open. I could give two fucks what your opinion of me is. I'm literally reading the tape. That's it. Okay. And when I'm done this year, you can criticize me and write all the reviews and talk all the bullshit you want to talk about me, but you're not going to change the fact that these motherfuckers all around the world are making money now. And they did the work. They showed up every day. So back to my list. So you need to know what market you're following. I'm forcing the S&P as the teaching medium, understanding that everything in that is going to be applicable to everything else. And what style of trading? I'm forcing day trading in the morning session. I'm forcing that on you. Well, I don't want to do that. It doesn't matter, because the same things I'm teaching you, I'm going to teach you how to apply it to every other time frame, every other style of trading. I'm not going to effectively be able to teach you long-term position trading. Think about it. Like, okay, here's the daily chart. We're going to take a long here, the stop here, and we're expecting it to go to. How long is that going to take? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I don't have time. You're gonna wait to the next video update for that? Hell no, you're not. Some of you are chomping at the bit. You're constantly looking at Twitter. Do I have my notifications on? Because I know ICT should be talking some shit right now. You're already wired. You're already hardwired to do what I'm training you to do. So roll with it. So the morning session, we're gonna be focusing on that. So what time frame are you gonna trade in? What's your model gonna be? I'm forcing you to use the weekly expansion. In other words, I'm gonna walk through and I'm going to constantly remind you each time we do a session what the weekly expansion is. So that sets the tone for where's the largest magnitude of volatility, in what direction, likely to be. It doesn't mean that there isn't going to be moves that go against that throughout the course of the week. It just means that I want to be where the gunpowder is. Like, I want to be in there putting in trades when it's likely to go to fuck off and just run explosively. So when I'm sitting on the weekend, like I'll do tonight, once I'm done doing my fatherly and husbandly things with, my family, and when they go to sleep, then I resign myself to my office and then I pour over my charts and I'm looking at specifically the weekly chart. And I spend more time on that weekly chart than I spend on any other time frame. What the hell did you just say? Dude, we don't ever see you talk about a weekly chart. We only see these 1 minute candlestick. Right. And that's what I'm talking about. See, you only see the result of 30 years experience being shown to you real time, but you aren't there when I'm putting in the time over the charts, studying and looking for the things and weighing out things with my own personal experience, logging and journaling in my own journals. All those things, that's what gets me, or has allowed me to reach the level of precision that you see me doing. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't a quick thing. And it's not going to be quick for you. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm telling you up front. I tell you every time in these videos, you're going to fucking lose money. It's going to be harder than you want it to be. It's going to be easy to want to quit. But you have to dig your heels in and just show up. You have to show up. Because when you start trading with real money, should you ever decide to do that, you're going to have times when you start going in drawdown, you're going to lose. And you need to make decisions, and they need to be rooted in sound logic. What's the next step if you go into drawdown? Another trade?